Okay, let's start with a quick warm up on trig, which was our lesson earlier this week, to make sure that you've got this down before we go into the other review topic of special right triangles. So again, before I get started, I always want to make sure that I've got the shortcut written up here, my little SOHCAHTOA, for easy reference. And you're going to need some sort of a calculator, so notice I've got my Desmos ready right over here. So first one has a reference angle down here of 27, and they gave us the opposite leg and the adjacent leg. So we'll notice which of our trig functions uses an opposite and an adjacent, or which of our trig functions does not use a hypotenuse, right? It's the only one that doesn't use hypotenuse. So we're going to be doing a TOA. So we set up the trig function. The tangent of 27 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. And then in order to solve, we're going to multiply both sides by 10. So plugging into our calculator, we're going to type in the tangent of 27 times 10. And notice we're going to get 5.09, but it rounds up. So it becomes, the rounding of 9 becomes 10. So it's going to become 5.10. And you'll see right in there that there are no units. So we're just going to write U for units. Okay, let's go try the next guy. So this one has a reference angle of 25, and it's also an opposite over adjacent. So again, we're using our TOA. So we go tangent of 25 is equal to opposite over adjacent. Multiplying by that denominator to both sides, we're going to get that x is approximately, let's go use Desmos, 10 times the tan of 25. And we're getting 4.66 this time. Remember that we're always going to round to 2 decimal places, to the hundredths place, unless otherwise specified. Okay, looking down here at the reference angle of 39, this time I notice I have an adjacent and a hypotenuse. Which trig function uses the adjacent and the hypotenuse? This is going to be my cosine function. So we start by writing cosine of 39 is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Multiplying both sides by that denominator of 7 in order to solve, we're going to get that x is approximately, and we're going to go type in 7 times the cosine of 39. And we get 5.44. And finally, over here on this one with a reference angle of 46, we're noticing that we have the opposite over the hypotenuse. So this is going to be our sine function. So sine of 46 degrees is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Now this one is not only the sine function, but you'll notice that the variable's in the denominator. So when we multiply by the denominator, it brings the x up. But this time there is an additional step where I now need to divide both sides by the sine of 46. So what you're actually going to plug into your Desmos calculator this time is 8 divided by the sine of 46 in order to solve for x. So here we go. 8 divided by the sine of 46 gives us 11.12. U for units. How'd you do? So the entire lesson from earlier this week was on trig. When you did this review, were you feeling good about picking the functions? You should be feeling ready for the test. Hopefully you are. Thank you.